We are back. I am your host. For those of you who don't know, Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents to copyrights to trade secrets. And today, the topic of discussion, trademarks. Now, I'm titling this video Deeper Than a Brand. For those of you who have probably been living under a rock over the last couple of days, Shedeur Sanders dropped to the fifth round of the NFL draft. I think 144th pick of the fifth round to the Cleveland Browns when he was expected to go as high as the second pick. And then it was later to the ninth pick. And then it was the 21st pick. And next thing you know, maybe the next day. And then next thing you know, he's going on a third day, the last day of the draft, fifth round, 144th pick. Now, I was going to kind of leave this alone altogether, but I was watching Martellus, what is his name? Marcellus Wiley. It was kind of a breakdown that he did on a Shedeur drafts, kind of Shedeur Sanders sliding in a draft. And I said, man, based on this, I have to kind of give my take because I disagree with Marcellus, at least on kind of this point that I'm going to play you guys here in a second. And so we're going to take a look at that take, and then I'm going to come back, break it down to you from an IP attorney's perspective. And a lot of people are not going to talk about it like, in a way that I'm going to talk about it as it relates to the brand, obviously it being a trademark, and how Shedeur Sanders has built this brand up, two legendary, and have made a lot of money doing it. So we're going to take a look at Marcellus Wiley, his take on it, and then I'm going to give you my take on whether or not he's right or wrong, and what not only collegiate athletes should do going forward, but also NFL athletes, professional athletes should also do with regard to their personal brand. So let me cue this up here really quickly. Hey, please hit the like button. Some housekeeping items. Please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button as I'm pulling this up. So let's go here. Let me make sure I got it on the right speed. I know sometimes I watch these videos a little, okay, here we go. It's a normal speed. Let's take a look at this one, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. Let's go.
Exceptional attributes, but all in all, not the highest graded quarterback this year, but somebody you should draft, right? And imagine if you're a team and you're thinking, where should I pick this guy, as you're trying to hire a new prospect who is nothing but an employee, but a highly paid employee. And if he's not going to be your top dog, then it's like, okay, I need somebody who's going to be coachable, who's going to come in here and buy in. And then you click on the TV screen, as everybody else is, you're in the war room, and you see a prospect that has legendary built into his house, built into his rooms. He hasn't taken a snap yet. Then it makes you start to think, and this is not right, but this is the way it goes. You start to think, legendary, you ain't even did jack. Oh, the same dude that had a beef with an NFL MVP in the name of Cam Newton. Cocky reports. A lot of anonymous coaches and sources saying, I don't want a guy that's going to be giving out more press conferences than he's getting game reps. It's a little noisy back there. Our backups are noisy. Telling you how the game goes, because the NFL is militaristic. It is a military outfit.
So I think that's pretty much all I want to kind of play of that. But I do want to take a look at, before I kind of break it down, what he was talking about as far as the whole legendary thing. Let me see if I can kind of find that here. Okay, here it goes. Here it goes. So let me pull it up here. This is the legendary room that Marcellus Wiley was talking about, that Shedeur Sanders had pretty much his draft day. Let's take a look at that. Let me make sure I have this. Okay, let's go. It's only 13 seconds. The legendary, all the caps. Then this is the room that I think he's talking about. You see the legendary, pretty much all over the legendary pillows. This is what Marcellus Wiley is talking about. Now, I think this is number one. I think this is for people who this shows that you haven't done your homework, because everybody knows that Shedeur Sanders has been using this term legendary as his brand. This is part of his brand. Just like Nike has the Just Do It, or they have the check mark, the TB12, that's Tom Brady's brand. This legendary is not him saying, hey, I'm better than anybody, or hey, trying to come off as kind of sinning or negative in any way. This is his brand, legendary. And anybody who's been following Shedeur Sanders really kind of since he's been in college knows that he kind of uses his legendary brand. That's something that he's built up. Now, a lot of people may be mad because obviously his dad Deion Sanders is a master marketer, and I would imagine has helped him build up this legendary brand. But for Marcellus Wiley, I think I heard Colin Cohard, I think that's his name, also talk about, hey, he has this legendary stuff everywhere, and kind of people can be turned off by that. Man, again, I think, and as an IP attorney, I think that's lazy journalism, and that's BS, because this guy has built a brand, much like other people has built a brand. Matter of fact, let me guys show you, some of the other college quarterbacks who's been drafted into the NFL. Look at, you see here, Cam Ward. This is brand, Cam One. That it seems like that's Cam Ward's brand. Let me give you guys another quarterback who has been drafted in the NFL, and we'll take a look at. I think this gentleman was drafted last year, number 1 overall, Caleb Williams. You see, if you go down again, branding, he has the. Let me see here. What is his brand? You see, got the CW right there. I guess this is a CW as well. Again, so that's his brand. And then I'll even pull up. I wasn't going to pull up this gentleman's brand, but this is another quarterback who was drafted last year, and he's actually did a pretty good job in the NFL. Bo Nix, who plays for the Denver Broncos. You see the search, Bo Leave. So again, all these quarterbacks and really all these players have a brand. Obviously, like I said, Deion Sanders, being a master marketer, has helped his son brand go to the next level. But not only that, look at your brand is only as successful as the product. And obviously, Shedeur Sanders' product has been pretty good, at least up until this point in time. Now, is he perfect? No. What college quarterback coming out of the draft is perfect? None of them. All of them have flaws, things that they have to work on their game. But up until this point, that legendary branding that Shedeur Sanders has kind of really built is really a big part of, or has been built as a part of him being spectacular on the field. So with Marcellus Wiley as well as Colin Cowherd saying, hey, you're seeing this legendary everywhere, and people can be turned off by that. I just think it's funny because we all say manifest your dreams, manifest this, manifest that. But when this gentleman is not only, he's taking manifesting to the next level in terms of manifesting his legendary status and really turning that into a brand, all of a sudden people have problems with that. This is deeper than a brand. This is not just based off of the legendary status. If you think that a gentleman who was supposed to go in the first round slid to the 5th round because of a couple bad draft interviews, or because of his legendary, this legendary brand being plastered everywhere, you have another thing coming. Now, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just dead. Maybe it's some other stuff. We may never know. But for people, and I've been seeing it all on social media, for people thinking that, hey, man, he did some bad interviews. He had this legendary status. He, rubbed teams the wrong way. Man, look, this is deeper than all that. This is deeper than a brand. Again, will we know? I'm not sure. But if you think that these things had a reason for him dropping to the 5th round, okay, maybe you go from the 1st round to the 2nd round, or from the 1st round to the 3rd round. But to be a projected 1st round player and all of a sudden go to the 5th round, then not only go to the 5th round, and you can say, okay, Cam Ward probably was a better prospect. And okay, it's maybe a toss up with Jackson Dart, the Ole Miss quarterback. But to go Dylan Gabriel, the Louisville quarterback, and then Jalen Milroe, to say that those 3 quarterbacks put a better situation on film than Shedeur Sanders, again, man, who are you kidding? This is deeper than a brand. This is deeper than kind of what things may be seen. And I want to tell you guys, like I said, as an IP attorney, because this all goes back to the intellectual property for me, make sure, especially if you're a collegiate player, that are taking advantage not only of protecting your brand, but also building your brand. I'm not going to pull it up, but Shedeur Sanders actually has filed for trademarks on 2 legendary, that name, that logo, which is currently pending before the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And again, obviously, I ain't hard to find, and a lot of trademarks that his dad has. They're playing the game masterfully as it relates to a branding standpoint, an IP standpoint. And it seems like this is the NFL way, in a lot of ways, of saying, hey, you in our house now, which is, again, this is the reason why you want your own brand, so that, because typically in the U.S., your brand is decided, the value of the brand, the quality of the brand is decided based on it being a capitalistic society, the market, the people. Just think of Nike. Just think of you got your Starbucks. Just think of the people who buying these brands. They're going to determine whether or not your brand is worth, is valued enough for them to purchase a product or not purchase a product. But the NFL, again, NFL is a brand, and they're saying, hey, at least in my opinion, that Shedeur Sanders, your brand, legendary, you're dead. The Sanders name is not bigger than the shield. And I think that's a part of, hey, it's deeper than a brand. So for college athletes, professional athletes, make sure you continue to build your brand, protect your brand, and again, ultimately let the market decide. Now, to the extent that you're in NFL or you're a prospect, the NFL may throw their weight around as it relates to kind of you and maybe what they think the value of your brand should be. But ultimately, the market is going to decide. And a lot of times that market is going to decide based on the value of the actual product. In this case, the value of Shedeur Sanders, the value of that college prospect and how well he plays, or the NFL prospect and how well they play. When you think of Michael Jordan, when you think of TB12, their brands are big brands as a result of the quality of that product, them being themselves. So, and again, when you think of Tesla, even though, his brand took a hit with the political affiliation, but when you think of the Teslas and the Fords and some of these big brands, they're brands because of their product and the fact that people want their product. So, again, continue to build your brand, continue to let the market decide on your brand. And as it relates to the Shedeur Sanders NFL situation, understand that it is deeper than a brand, although others may tell you otherwise. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I am Dave, 10-year intellectual property. Please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. And as always, protect that intellectual property. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.